Earlier this week, a video went out that cut and edited all of Snape's scenes from the Harry Potter movies together in chronological order, and my Facebook feed has been full of comments of,
"Oh, it's gonna make you cry," and "Oh, Snape is so romantic."
No. No, he's not. Snape is not a romantic hero character. Yes, Snape, by definition, was brave. By definition, he faced his fears. He did the things he didn't want to do. He went and did the double agent thing with the Death Eaters. He was Dumbledore's man. He killed Dumbledore. He did all these things that he was afraid and didn't want to do, and he faced those fears. By that definition, he is brave. That I cannot deny. However, aside from those acts and the fact that he did in fact protect his students when it mattered, throughout the other 364 days of the year, aside from the one day that things were going bad and Harry Potter was messing up the school and he was, doing whatever he was to fix it, all that other time, he was a monster. He treated his students terribly. He tortured them, he belittled them, he demeaned them, he bullied them. He essentially was a bully as a teacher. In the video, of course, because it's all of Snape's scenes, they do show the scenes where James Potter and the rest of the Marauders, Sirius and Peter Pettigrew and Remus Lupin, where they bully Snape as a kid when they're in high school. Yes, James Potter and the rest of the Marauders, Sirius and Lupin, they were bullies. But guess what? After high school, they grew up for the most part, especially James, who was the lead bully. He grew up, and that's why Lily loved him. Whereas Snape always loved Lily, but he never grew up. He never left that high school mentality of being bullied. And that's the biggest thing about Snape. Snape never left high school. He stayed in high school where he was bullied. After high school, he had his friends from Hogwarts, and they all went on to be Death Eaters, and they stayed in the same group. Then when he did his double agent thing and went over to Dumbledore, he literally went back to Hogwarts. He never left high school. He never left that young teenage high school mentality. And then when he found himself in a position of authority to teach students, he didn't use that to be a better person or to treat them better than he was treated. No. He treated them exactly as he was treated. He bullied them. By that, Snape is not some aspiring hero. He is a terrible, cruel man. As far as being romantic, the whole thing with him always loving Lily Evans, his whole life, he loved her and she never returned feelings. And then he grew up and he still loved her, and that was the only reason he went to Dumbledore, was because Voldemort was targeting Lily Evans. I had this conversation just a little while ago with a friend, and he pointed this out, and I didn't even think of it, but he's absolutely right. Had Voldemort chosen the Longbottoms, Neville's parents, and Neville as his target instead of the Potters and Harry, Severus Snape wouldn't have done anything. He would have stayed with the Death Eaters. But because it was Lily, he changed sides. And then he couldn't save him. He felt terrible about that. He joined with Dumbledore. And Dumbledore told him, that the kid's going to need protection. And when it was his time, yes, he protected him from spells and from dying. But from everyday things like bullies or just dealing with life, no. He made it miserable for them. He made sure Harry and his students were as miserable as he was. As far as him loving Lily, yes. For him, in high school, he was friend-zoned by Lily. He was just a friend, and then they drifted apart, and then they weren't friends anymore. They actually leave a lot of that out of the movies. And I think if they put it in, a lot of people would feel differently. In the books, that scene where Snape's getting bullied by James Potter and the rest of the Marauders, Lily stands up for him. And Snape full-on calls her a mudblood. Oh, but then he tries to explain it. Oh no, I was just trying to fit in with my friends, the other guys like Lucius Malfoy and the other guys, and calling you a mudblood. It's just so I can, be cool with my friends. No, those aren't friends you should want to be cool with. And Lily tried to explain that to him, and she said no. Because of the choices he was making, She did not want to be his friend. She would not love him. And then he grows up, and they were full-on adults when Voldemort went after the Potters and Harry. And that's when he went to Dumbledore because he still loved Lily Evans. If I held on to an affection of a girl in high school, and trust me, there was a girl in high school that I just fawned over, I was stupid over. And it lasted a good couple years after high school. And you know what? It was too much. It was creepy, it was obsessive, and I got over it. I moved on with my life. I cared for this girl. She didn't feel the same way. I did not linger on it. I did not hold on to it forever. That's what Snape did. If I had done that and been the way Snape was, it would not be seen as,
oh, it's romantic and
always. It would be creepy. It would be stalker, borderline stalker behavior. Snape never left high school. That is a big point, and I actually never realized this until I saw a Harry Potter musical by Star Kid Productions. It was actually a Harry Potter sequel, in the song "There Will Always Be Guys Like Potter," where Snape remembers how he felt about Lily and how James was actually a bully. It's done very well. If you haven't seen them, look them up on YouTube. There are 3 Harry Potter musicals. They're absolutely hysterical, but the music is amazing, and it's 3 amazing musicals based on Harry Potter. Please watch them. They're so good. But I did not fully appreciate Snape never leaving high school until I saw that and I really understood it. And I can see where Snape's coming from. I was bullied a lot. Luckily, I was never physically bullied, and I would say that I'm very fortunate in that aspect. I was never physically bullied. I was never beat up. I was never given swirlies or wedgies, but I was emotionally and verbally bullied a lot, all through school. I was put in the friend zone by a girl who I cared about so much. I've been where Snape was. But I didn't choose to go hang out with the group that will become Death Eaters. I didn't choose to go on with them to be Death Eaters. I didn't choose to be a terrible person because of it. I got over it, I moved on, and I became who I am today. Snape, James Potter, who was a bully in high school. He grew up, he became a better person, and he moved on, and that's why Lily left him. Snape stayed the same person he was in high school. He never left high school. He never left that high school mentality. Snape is very brave. That I cannot deny. He is brave. By definition, he is brave. But romantic or some hero to look up to, no. He was a terrible person. He was cruel. He was a bully. With all that said, I don't want you to get the impression that I don't like the character of Snape. I don't like Snape as a person. If Snape was a real life person, I would not like him. As a literary character, oh my god, he's amazing. He has a lot of different levels. He has a lot of complexities. The fact that I can sit here and talk about Snape like this, and the fact that you're going to have a different opinion, and we're going to discuss that and argue about it, and have a conversation about our different viewpoints of Snape, shows how good of a character he is. He really is an amazing character. I just don't see him as this romantic hero. Because he was an asshole. He stayed in high school, and a lot of us, we've all been through high school, and who of us here wasn't a little shit in high school? I absolutely was. I absolutely was. I was not the better person I feel I am now than when I was in high school. I don't like who I was in high school. I more or less like who I am now. James Potter was not the same person in high school that he grew up to be. Snape was. My biggest point. Point I just want to get across is Snape never left high school. What is your opinion of Snape? Of Professor Severus Snape? The Persian's master. Let me know in the comments, get me on Facebook and Twitter, and also subscribe to my channel so we can geek out some more. But until then, have fun.